A major shift is coming, and it's closer than you think. June 1st isn't just another date. It marks the start of summer storms, heat wave risks, wildfire season, and the next wave of supply chain disruptions already building behind the scenes. If you wait until the shelves are empty, it'll be too late. That's why now, before June 1st, is your last best chance to stock up. In this video, we're covering 7 critical food items every household should have on hand to survive what's coming. These aren't trendy prepper picks. They're time-tested, shelf-stable, and quietly disappearing. If you care about food security, don't wait. Subscribe now and stick around, because 6 might be the one item you've already run out of and didn't even realize it. Every year brings new risks, but this summer, something feels different. Quiet warnings are turning into quiet shortages. The foods you assume will always be there, they're slowly vanishing, one shipment at a time. Not because of panic, but because of planning by people who saw it coming. The question is, will you be one of them? These 7 items aren't flashy, but they're essential, and missing just one could create a major problem when a crisis hits. Number 1. Shelf-stable milk powder. If you think milk won't matter in a crisis, think again. It's not just about coffee or cereal, it's about protein, calcium, fats, and flexibility. And when refrigeration fails or fresh milk becomes too expensive to buy regularly, shelf-stable milk powder becomes a quiet survival hero. Why is it critical before June 1st? Because dairy markets are tightening. Global reports in early 2025 show that key producers like New Zealand and the US are cutting exports to prioritize domestic needs. Meanwhile, heat waves and feed shortages have reduced cow productivity in key farming regions. That means less milk on the market, higher prices for fresh and powdered forms, and slower resupply rates for stores that normally stock it. Milk powder, especially non-fat dry milk, stores for up to 20 years when kept in a cool, dry place. It's a must-have for baking, cooking, or just rehydrating into a drinkable form when the real thing isn't available. It's also compact. 10 cans of milk powder can make several gallons of milk when reconstituted. That's a high return on storage space. Here's the kicker. Powdered milk doesn't just rehydrate, it stretches meals. Add it to oats, pancake mix, casseroles, soups, or even mashed potatoes to boost calorie and nutrient density without needing refrigeration. It's especially valuable for households with kids, seniors, or anyone who needs a consistent calcium or protein intake. What should you do right now? Buy in bulk if possible. In 10 cans or vacuum-sealed Mylar pouches are ideal. Avoid individual packets unless they're for short-term travel or bug-out kits, and always store in a dark, moisture-free space to preserve shelf life. Pro tip, if you don't like the taste, use it as an ingredient, not a drink. In recipes, most people can't even tell the difference, because when dairy shelves go empty, or prices spike beyond reach, milk powder won't just be a convenience. It'll be your backup nutrition plan. Number 2. Instant mashed potatoes. When it comes to survival food, you want 3 things: shelf life, calories, and comfort. Instant mashed potatoes check all 3 boxes, and that's why they need to be in your pantry before June 1st. Why the rush? As of spring 2025, potato harvests in parts of the US and Canada have been hit hard by droughts and late frosts. That's already impacting supply contracts for processed potato products, including flakes and powders used in instant mashed potatoes. Discount stores and warehouse clubs are reporting limited restocks on bulk instant mash options, and the brands that remain are quietly shrinking box sizes or raising prices. So what makes them so valuable? First, they're incredibly lightweight and compact. A single box or pouch that takes up just a few inches in your pantry can yield multiple hearty servings. Second, they're fast and fuel efficient. Just add boiling water and they're ready in minutes. That makes them ideal when you're short on time, power, or fuel. Nutritionally, they're not just filler. Instant mashed potatoes provide a solid mix of carbohydrates and potassium, essential for energy, especially when physical work increases during a crisis. And if you add butter powder, powdered milk, or a scoop of protein powder, you've got a much more balanced survival meal. They also pair well with almost everything: canned stews, chili, beans, even powdered gravy. In a low morale moment, a bowl of hot, familiar mashed potatoes can make a massive emotional difference. Here's the move. Stock up on multiple formats: box, pouch, and number 10 can if you can find it. Choose plain or lightly seasoned versions. Fancy flavored ones often expire faster and aren't as versatile for mixing with other foods, because when stress hits and meals become scarce, you'll want food that's simple to make, easy to store, and actually satisfying to eat. And that's exactly what instant mashed potatoes deliver, without needing a chef, a fridge, or even a plan. Number 3. Canned chili or stews. When time is short, fuel is low, and stress is high, the best survival food is something you can eat straight from the can, and that's where canned chili and stews become absolute lifesavers. They're hearty, balanced, shelf-stable, and surprisingly efficient for both nutrition and storage. As of spring 2025, canned meat products, including chili, beef stew, and hearty soups, are quietly being impacted by two major issues: canned meat supply restrictions and aluminum shortages. Multiple suppliers have already scaled back on the variety and frequency of their shipments, especially in budget chains and regional grocers. Some retailers have even started limiting bulk purchases of high-protein canned goods. That's your cue to act now. Canned chili and stews are ready to eat, meaning you can eat them cold if needed. No stove, no water, no cleanup. But heat them up, and you've got a warm, filling, morale-boosting meal in minutes. Each can often contains beans, vegetables, meat, and sauce, giving you carbs, protein, fiber, and fat all in one serving. That's rare in shelf-stable foods without cooking. Look for low-sodium and high-protein varieties when you stock up. Brands like Hormel, Dinty Moore, or store-brand versions offer long shelf lives, typically 2 to 5 years, and hold up well in both pantry storage and emergency bins. Rotate them like clockwork. Oldest in front, newest in the back. Pro tip: pack a manual can opener with your canned goods. No point in prepping if you can't open what you've saved. You can also stretch each can by serving it over instant mashed potatoes, rice, or pasta. Making one can feed 2 or more people if needed. And because they're sealed and dense, they're easy to stack and transport if you need to move fast. Because when the lights are out and dinner feels impossible, a single can of chili or stew can turn chaos into comfort. And that's why canned chili isn't just survival food, it's smart food, ready when you are. Number 4. Dry beans, mixed variety. When it comes to true survival food, few items offer more bang for your buck than dry beans. They're high in calories, packed with protein, shelf-stable for decades, and incredibly versatile in the kitchen. But here's what most people don't realize. Dry beans are starting to vanish quietly from bulk bins and warehouse clubs. As of early 2025, demand for bulk dry goods has surged again, especially among preppers, homesteaders, and even institutional buyers. Combined with drought-related yield drops in major bean-producing regions like the U.S. Southwest and parts of South America, the result is fewer available varieties, smaller bulk offerings, and higher prices. That's why now, before June 1st, is the time to stock up. Dry beans come in all types: black beans, kidney, pinto, garbanzo, navy, lima, and more. The beauty of a mixed variety is flexibility. Different beans offer different cook times, flavors, textures, and nutritional profiles. If you're forced to live off limited food supplies, that variety keeps things from getting boring and ensures a better spread of amino acids, fiber, and minerals. Stored properly, dry beans last 20-30 years in sealed mylar bags with oxygen absorbers. Even in just an airtight bucket or jar, they'll easily stay viable for a decade. That makes them one of the smartest food investments you can make. Cooking dry beans does require fuel and water, but the trade-off is huge. A single cup of dried beans can expand to 2.5 cups or more when cooked, offering hundreds of calories, protein, and fiber for pennies. To save on fuel, soak them overnight or pressure cook if you have a solar or gas cooker. Pro tip: if you don't want to rely entirely on dry beans, also grab a few canned versions for emergencies where cooking isn't practical. Here's your move: buy in 5 to 10 pound bags, or larger if available. Look for vacuum-packed options or repackage yourself into mylar bags. Focus on a mix of fast-cooking beans and hearty staples, so you're covered for both short-term and long-term needs. Because when food gets tight and your budget gets tighter, beans won't just feed you, they'll sustain you. And that's why dry beans aren't just cheap food, they're long-term security in a sack. Number 5. Shelf-stable ready rice or pasta meals. When a crisis hits, your ability to cook may be limited. That's why shelf-stable ready rice and pasta meals are becoming one of the smartest food preps you can buy before June 1st. They're fast, energy efficient, and require zero prep skills. Just heat and eat. Let's start with why this matters now. As of spring 2025, several major food producers are scaling back production of non-essential SKUs, especially ready-to-eat items. That includes flavored rice pouches, pasta sides, and mac and cheese style meals. The goal? Reduce inventory risk during unstable supply periods. For you, that means fewer options and faster sellouts at stores. These meals are shelf-stable for up to 18 months or longer, depending on the brand. They don't need refrigeration, and most can be heated in 90 seconds with a microwave, or simply warmed over a flame or hot surface. In a power outage, this is gold. You get a warm, satisfying meal with minimal fuel and water use. Nutritionally, they're not bad either. Many offer a mix of carbs, sodium, and sometimes protein depending on the flavor. Varieties like Spanish rice, creamy Alfredo pasta, or cheesy rice blends can pair with canned meats or beans to create complete meals. They're also kid-friendly, which is huge when managing stress and routines during emergencies. Stock up on a variety to avoid flavor fatigue. Go for trusted brands like Knorr, Ben's Original, or even store-brand options that offer bulk packs. Keep them in a cool, dry location and rotate every 12 months to maintain freshness. Pro tip: ready rice pouches also double as quick calories during evacuation scenarios. Just warm them with body heat or eat cold if necessary. It won't taste great, but it'll keep you moving. Because when time is short, patience is thin, and stress is high, a hot meal you can make in minutes is more than food. It's morale. And that's what shelf-stable rice and pasta meals give you: fuel, flavor, and comfort when you need it most. Number 6. Jarred peanut butter or nut butters. It's creamy, calorie-dense, and shelf-stable for over a year. That's why peanut butter, or any nut butter, is a survival staple you need to lock in before June 1st. And right now, availability is starting to shrink. Here's why. Global peanut and tree nut crops have been hit hard in recent harvests. Major exporters like Argentina and India have experienced unpredictable weather, while rising demand for plant-based protein alternatives has put extra pressure on nut-based products. On top of that, the cost of glass and plastic packaging has surged, prompting some brands to limit production or quietly downsize containers. That means fewer jars on the shelf, fewer deals, and rising prices. Why should this be in your survival food stockpile? Simple. Peanut butter offers healthy fats, protein, and carbs, a rare combo in one affordable, ready-to-eat item. 1 tablespoon delivers over 90 calories. A single jar can carry a person through multiple meals or serve as a quick energy booster in between. And it requires no cooking, no water, no prep. Even better, it's kid-friendly, familiar, and incredibly versatile. Spread it on crackers or bread, add it to oatmeal, mix it with dry noodles for a quick sauce, or just eat it straight with a spoon when there's nothing else. What should you buy? Go for natural peanut butter if you want fewer additives, or stick with standard brands for longer shelf life. If peanut allergies are a concern, look into almond, sunflower, or cashew butter, but keep in mind, these tend to be pricier and harder to find during shortages. Store jars in a cool, dark place. If the oil separates, just stir it. It's still good. And always check expiration dates before rotating stock. Pro tip: include a few small single-serve packets in your bug-out bag. They're lightweight, mess-free, and provide instant energy on the go. Because when meals are uncertain and protein is hard to come by, a spoonful of peanut butter could be the difference between surviving and struggling. And that's why it's more than a snack. It's compact, calorie-rich survival fuel, straight from the jar. Number 7. Multivitamin gummies or tablets. Food may fill your stomach, but when your diet gets limited, you need more than calories. That's why multivitamin gummies or tablets are one of the smartest, most overlooked survival food items you can grab before June 1st. In any crisis, nutrition takes a back seat. You're eating more shelf-stable carbs, fewer fruits and vegetables, and less variety overall. Over time, that creates serious gaps in your vitamin and mineral intake. The result? Fatigue, brain fog, weakened immunity, slower wound healing, and mood instability. Not ideal during high-stress scenarios. Multivitamins help solve that fast. Just 1 daily dose can cover 20+ essential nutrients: vitamin C, D, B complex, iron, zinc, and more. That means even if your meals are basic, beans, rice, pasta, canned goods, your body's still getting what it needs to function. As of early 2025, several name-brand multivitamin lines have faced supply constraints tied to raw ingredient shortages and international shipping delays. Gummies, in particular, are experiencing quiet shelf-outs in pharmacies and discount chains, and because they're not seen as urgent, many people don't realize they're disappearing until they're gone. Here's the strategy. Stock up on at least a 90-day supply per person in your household. Choose tablets for the longest shelf life, or gummies for better taste, especially for kids or elderly. Store them in a cool, dry place. No refrigeration needed. And check expiration dates. Most will last 1 to 2 years if sealed properly. Pro tip: don't overbuy megadose or performance formulas. You're not training, you're surviving. Stick with balanced daily formulas that support immunity, digestion, and energy. Multivitamins aren't meant to replace food, but in a survival scenario, they make the food you do have work better. And that's a powerful edge. Because when your meals get repetitive, bland, and low nutrient, the right supplement could keep your body strong, your mind clear, and your resilience high. And that's why multivitamins aren't optional in a crisis. They're your backup nutrition system, sealed in a bottle. the window is closing. These 7 food items are more than just smart. They're strategic. They cover your calories, your comfort, and your nutrition. But by the time June 1st hits, restocks will slow, prices will rise, and the people who waited will be left scrambling. Don't be one of them. Start now. Build a shelf that feeds your family, fuels your body, and keeps your peace of mind, no matter what comes next. Like this video if you're serious about preparing the smart way. Drop a comment. Which of these is already in your pantry, or which one surprised you the most? Subscribe now for weekly crisis alerts, prepping guides, and survival strategies you can actually use.